Hi everyone, welcome to Holy Yoga with Caroline. Today I'm really excited to bring you a 15-minute yoga flow that is designed for total relaxation, total surrender after a long day at work or kids or running errands. Something that you can do right on the floor here, something you can even do from bed. There's no standing poses involved, it's just a lot of deep stretching and relaxing. So let's get started.
Let's start our practice tonight in child's pose. So bringing your big toes to touch, your knees can stay together, or if you want a little bit more openness in your hips, you can extend your knees out to the edges of your mat and sink your belly and hips down in between them. Sending your arms out long in front of you. Maybe you turn your palms up to heaven just as a sign of surrender. Begin to draw attention to your breath, into your body. Notice how you're feeling. Not condemning or judging, but just noticing. I think so often we're quick to judge, but we're slow to really be aware of what it is we're feeling and maybe why we're feeling it. So just begin to notice that. St. Teresa of Avila says this: prayer is an act of love. Words are not needed. So in these next few minutes, let's just turn our thoughts towards God. Turn our hearts toward Him. God, we acknowledge your presence. We welcome you and we worship you. You know our days. You come and you sit with us in our lows and you delight with us in our highs. So tonight we say thank you. And please, can we know more of your love? Can we see you better in our circumstances? Can we surrender more to your goodness? In Jesus' name. Amen. Come forward just enough so that you can take your right hand up and thread it underneath your left shoulder blade. Threading the needle here. You can keep your left arm where it is, or if you want to deepen the stretch, you can crawl your fingertips over to the right corner of your mat. Breathing into those tight spaces in between your shoulder blades. Using this opportunity as a moment of prayer, and maybe that doesn't mean you're talking to God the whole time, but you're just sitting in His presence, in His love. Come back to center and switch sides. So press your right palm down into the mat. Take your left arm underneath your right, coming to lean on that left shoulder. Keeping your right fingertips here or crawling them over to the left side of your mat to deepen the stretch just a little bit. Breathing deeply here. Slowly come back up to center. Press back into your child's pose. And then crawl your fingers up a little bit. We're going to sink our hips down onto the mat, swing our legs out in front of us, and we're going to stack our legs right on top of the other. So take your right shin and see if you can stack it over your left shin. If this isn't accessible for you, that's fine. You can open it up a little bit to make a little bit more space. We're going to try and stack our knee over our ankle, but if that's not where you are tonight, then that's okay. The most important thing is that you honor where you are. And breathe into where you are, find space into where you are, and you'll see that progress comes your way. So with our right leg stacked over our leg, you should be feeling a deep stretch along your right IT band and the outside of your right hip right now. If you want to take it a little bit more deeper, you can crawl your fingertips out in front of you. Maybe you crawl them over to the right or over to the left. Find where that edge is, where you feel it and you're like, ooh, yes. And just breathe into that when you get there. Again, maybe you turn your palms up to heaven as an act of love. If you're folded forward, slowly sit your way back up, and we're just going to switch sides here. So swinging your right leg out, your left leg up on top of your right. So your left knee sits on top of your right ankle. Your shins are stacked at 290-degree angles. On an inhale, let's grow tall, and then on an exhale, let's fold forward to however deep you want to go. Taking it over to the right side or over to the left side, seeing how that stretch feels differently on both sides of your body. Beautiful. Let's crawl back up. Untuck our legs and let's bring the soles of our feet together. Our knees out wide. You can bring your feet closer to your hips if that feels good, or you can extend them out straight if that feels good. Now, if this pulls on your knees, don't do it. Or get some blankets or towels and stack them underneath your knees to provide a little extra support. We're going to stretch our inner thighs here. So on an inhale, let's lengthen our spine. And then an exhale, fold forward. If your knees begin to pop up, then just stay right where you are. We're trying to extend our knees down to the mat. So go to the edge, your edge, where you can go before your knees start popping up. Rooting down through those hips, so maybe even you feel that stretch in your low back as well as the inside of your thighs. We're not forcing anything here. We're being gentle. Breathing through your belly, feeling the back of your body expand with your breath. Good, let's bring our knees up into our chest here and roll back onto our back, hugging our knees into our chest as we do so. Grabbing onto your knees, maybe you just roll side to side just slightly, massaging your lower back. And let's open up our hips here, pointing our feet towards the ceiling, our hands coming out to grab the outside edges of our feet into happy baby pose. If your hands can't reach your feet, no problem. You can just grab the outside of your thighs or your shins. But you should be feeling an openness and a stretching in your inner thighs here. See if you can root your hips and your tailbone down into the mat here. We have a tendency to let our bottom kind of roll up as we do this, but see if you can really root it down into the mat. As you're here, let's just roll our ankles out. So rolling your feet over, making circles over to the left side, making circles over to the right side, flexing your toes, curling your toes, finding a little bit more space in our ankles. Beautiful. Let's hug those knees into your chest one more time. And then place your feet down on the mat, close to your hips, so that when you reach your hands out, your fingertips can brush the backs of your heels. We're going to come into bridge pose here. So pressing your feet into the mat, I want you to slowly begin to lift your hips up to the ceiling, crawling your shoulder blades down underneath under your back so you feel an opening across your chest. Your hands can stay here pressing into the earth, or if you'd like to bring them underneath you to clasp, you can as well. But breathing here, not squeezing your butt, but pressing through your thighs and through the front of your hips, reaching them up to the ceiling. As you exhale, slowly begin to lower down one vertebrae at a time. Take a big inhale and an exhale here. We're going to do this one more time. So press your feet back into your mat, and when you're ready, slowly begin to roll your hips, roll your spine back up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Can you press the back of your head into the mat, pressing your shoulders into your mat, but finding openness along your neck, openness in your shoulders. Can you lift those hips 1 inch higher to the ceiling? Beautiful. And then slowly lower down, just like you were laying down a string of pearls. So one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the bottom, hug your knees back into your chest, rolling out your low spine one more time. Now let's extend our right leg long, hugging our left knee into our chest, and then twisting it over to the right side of our body. Your left arm extended long out to the left side. Maybe you send your gaze over your left fingertips. And just surrendering here into this gentle twist. If this is painful for you, you can take a towel or a blanket, stack it up underneath that left knee to provide a little bit more support. This is all about relaxing and surrendering and letting go, not forcing or trying to perform one more thing today. When you're ready, come back up to center, hug both knees into your chest, and then just switch sides. So extend your left leg long in front of you, your right knee into your chest, and then twist that right knee over to your left side, your right arm out. Your gaze goes over your right fingertips. Feeling a deep, gentle, juicy stretch along your low back. Whenever you're ready, coming back up to center, hugging your knees into your chest one more time. Coming to lie on your back. If you are practicing next to a wall, what I want you to do is to slide your hips up against that wall and swing your legs up it for a fabulous pose called legs up a wall. This is such a restorative, juicy pose. It doesn't look like much, but friends, it is such a powerful way to really calm your parasympathetic nervous system and relax. So if you're near a wall and you want to do this, I encourage you to do this, for a couple minutes every day if you want to. Whenever you feel like you just need a time to relax, throw those legs up a wall, close your eyes, open your palms, and just breathe. If you're not near a wall, you can just extend your legs straight out in front of you. Come into lie in Shavasana, the final resting pose. But wherever you're lying, I want you just to let go. Stop clenching your thighs, stop sucking your belly in. Let your palms, the back of your hands, sink into the earth. Let your shoulders sink down into your mat. No more clenching of your lips or furrowing of your brow, letting all of that relax. Honoring this moment as a time of prayer, an act of love, not banging on God's door for anything, but just enjoying His presence. Let Him speak to you. Let Him tell you how much He loves you, how much He delights in you, how much He adores you. Let Him whisper over you the beautiful plans that He has for your life, the beautiful things that He's working behind the scenes. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. You can stay here for as long as you need to, and I look forward to seeing you back on your mat soon.